welcome to fastidieschef.com. Today I'm going to make a very special Swedish cake. It's called almond cake, but it's also called soleja cake. It's also called Oscar II's cake, one of our kings, and also Sibylla cake. She was one of our queens. Now, what's the difference? And some people actually call it for IKEA cake on YouTube, but that's not the correct name for it. But whatever it's called, it's very delicious. I will tell you something. I have calculated that you need really two 9-inch pans in order to make the cake base in a very good way. And it's not too thick, it's not too thin. So that's what you need: a spring form, 2 spring forms that are 9 inches in diameter. So, and also one of the things that's important is to say that there are several ways of doing this. One cake is just one cake base, and then it's buttercream on top, and then they put some whipped cream on top, and then flaked almonds that are toasted or roasted. But I have 2 cake bases with buttercream in between, and on top with flaked almonds that are roasted in the oven or in a pan on the stove. So, and some people would like to have whipped cream on top of that before they put the flaked almonds, but I think it's a bit too much. You can always have the whipped cream on the side and serve it with it, because it has a lot of fat, it has a lot of wonderful buttercream, so it's really a little bit unnecessary. Now, the one that is called Sibylla cake, Queen Sibylle's cake, has chocolate in the buttercream. That is the difference. So let's get started, and I'm making it with two cake bases, needless to say, because you are going to see it. I really hope that you will like this recipe, and if so, please do consider subscribing, and don't forget to give your thumbs up. So let's get started and see how easy it really is. Start by lining 2 molds that are 23 centimeters in diameter with parchment paper. Grease it underneath and over. And this is what you need for the buttercream. And all the ingredients, you can always download that at my blog. And for the cake base, you need almonds and egg whites, etc. You can see that also at my blog. And finally, for the garnish, you need flaked almonds that are toasted. And here we start with that. Heat a pan and put the flaked almonds in there, and stirring constantly for 10 minutes until they become very nice and golden in color. Put it on a plate and set it aside. Now pour the almonds into a small blender and mix it for a few minutes until it becomes very soft and nice. Add the cardamom, mix it again, and now you put it in a bowl and set it aside. Then we start with the buttercream. Pour the egg yolks into a pan, add the sugar, and whisk it until the egg yolks become a little bit more pale. That's when you add the cream and mix it until they are very well incorporated. Now you put it on the stove and on medium heat. Whisk it all the time until it becomes thick. It takes about 10 minutes. Take it away from the stove and add the vanilla extract or vanilla sugar. Pour it into a bowl and cover it with plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator. Let's start with the cake base. Pour the egg whites in a bowl, add the salt, and whisk it for a couple of minutes until they start to become a little bit stiff before you start adding the sugar a little at a time. Do not put all the sugar at one time, because it will become almost like a pancake. Add the ground almond when it's very stiff. You add the ground almond a little at a time and just fold it. Do not whisk. Fold it only in one direction until you have worked in all of the ground almond. Then you measure and put it's about 190 to 200 grams in each mold, and smooth out the surface on each mold before you put them in a heated oven that is 356 Fahrenheit or convection oven 311 for 20 minutes. Then you take them out. Pour the room temperature butter in a bowl and add and whisk it until it becomes very soft before you start adding the buttercream in it. Until you have worked in all of it, then you put it in piping bag. And now let's assemble the cake. Just put one of the cake base on a plate and then put some cream on top, smooth it out. And then it's not a very thick layer, it's a thin layer. Then you put the second base on top, pour more buttercream on top, and smooth it out. And whatever is left, you put around the cake before you garnish it with the roasted flake almonds. Oh, it's so heavenly delicious. Thin slices because it's quite a heavy cake, and I can tell you it's wonderful to have with coffee in the morning or in the afternoon. As we say in Iran, Nushat Jan, or enjoy.